think it's time to blow the cobwebs away, get out a bit, and in this brief respite between the rain. It's all it's ever seemed to have done this past week or so. So it's time for a quick hour out and about here at Walsall Main Pit Top, in amongst this glorious autumn colour. There's some fabulous autumn colour, especially that cherry just at the back of me. Other ones that's here, some hazels and also some field maple that are going a lovely canary yellow now, but it's a very strange and somewhat disappointing end to the year, really. It was a year full of promise, lots of migrant moths and migrant butterflies beginning of the year, and then we had the hot weather, and the hot weather has paid to not only migrant butterflies but to native butterflies and native invertebrates full stop. Most have had a very bad year purely as a result of the extremely dry conditions and the extremely hot temperatures. As a consequence, normally when you walk around somewhere like here, which is Walsall Main Pit Top, you still find plenty of invertebrates. Yes, there's the odd common darter flitting around. Otherwise, even for this late date in October, there's nothing about. Or as birdwatchers used to say, there's nought about. Very disappointing. It's finally stopped raining as well, which is something. How long for, I don't know. But these very mild temperatures, you would think, would bring the invertebrates out, if only just to get dry after the lots and lots of rain that we've finally had. So, having a wheezy wander here on Walsall Main Pit Top, just a slow wander, see if anything catches my eye. And it has. Two things have caught my eye, nearly took my eye out. They're both leaf mines, but to me, they're two new species that I've not seen before. One, if it is what I think it is new to Nottinghamshire. So that's something so far. Anyway, I'm going to continue wheezily wandering around here and see what else we can turn up. Now here's our first leaf mine, although there's not much of a clue to there being a leaf mine here on the evidence of the underside of the leaf. The only hint that you have is this lower half of the leaf is largely yellow. The other half of the leaf is predominantly green. If we turn it over, it stays in focus, hopefully. You can now probably just make out that tiny hint of a mine there. It has got a larva in it, but now you can see how this lower half of the leaf is green and the upper half is largely yellow. And this is a species, hopefully, called Ectodemia intimella. And the leaf mines can be easy to find by all accounts because of these green islands and areas on the leaf. And with sallows now starting to go golden yellow, these should be fairly easy to find. But it's a very short mine, and the only other hint that there is a mine here at all, you may well be able to see that along the midrib there it's slightly darker than the rest, and hopefully somewhere along towards the petiole of the leaf there'll be an egg that I can find under the microscope. But the initial part of this mine is created in the leaf petiole and in the midrib, and then for the last instar, I think it is, the larva, then goes into the leaf, and do so it causes these conspicuous green islands. Now, Ectodemia intimella hasn't been recorded in Nottinghamshire so far. It's been recorded everywhere else. For some reason we've missed it, or it just sort of fell off the radar. Never thought to look for it, but it's in all the counties surrounding Nottinghamshire. Nottinghamshire is almost the equivalent of a green island on one of these leaves, because it's recordless for Ectodemia intimella. Hopefully we may have a dot on the county map after all. Now, just walking along the bottom of this bank and immediately seeing these blotch mines. These are the characteristic blotch mines you may well remember if you've seen the other videos of a colliery. Now, this is on bramble, growing amongst some grasses and very low to the ground, and the two species that will mine bramble and produce blotch mines like this are colliery violacea and colliery potentillae. The difference between the two, even if the case isn't here, is that colliery potentillae larvae make punctures both sides of the leaf. They feed on the underside, but they puncture right the way through, and you can see that's what's happened here. And the case is just there, look, just there, still an active case, and it's been here pretty much all its life, judging by the various sized mines that it's created. Some of these little tiny holes will be where it's cut out sections of the leaf to adorn the case. That's something that survived the heat of the summer. Now, here on Warsop Main Pit Top, it's not just the goat sallows that are going a lovely shade of canary yellow, because the same is being done by several silver birches. Some silver birches here, though, in other parts of the site are still completely green, or more or less green, but others are like this, yellow leaved, and have lost a lot of leaves. On one particular birch tree there was this leaf that I noticed with these rather conspicuous leaf mines on. At first, and after a quick check on the British Leaf Miners website, I thought that these were the leaf mines of Stigmella continuella, which is a species that Dillis and I never recorded before. After taking some photographs and then re-examining them and comparing them with photographs on the web, I'm now of the opinion that these are the leaf mines of another Stigmella, Stigmella cercalinella, which would be new to Nottinghamshire. Quite remarkable that in just a short walk here on this former pit top, it's produced two new moths for Nottinghamshire. The first in the form of Ectodemia intimella, which we saw a while ago, and then these, which I'm pretty sure now is indeed Stigmella cercalinella. It looks like a call or a message to the county recorder is needed later on when I return home. Amazing. Two new species on just a short walk. Well, I just found a couple of bits. It's got me out of the house for an hour or so. But it's very, very disappointing. I suppose really I shouldn't be too surprised after the summer that we've had. It's all very well having this nice hot weather, but for late summer and autumn recording of invertebrates, it's not so good. Because there's not much about. Even the spiders, there's very few spiders about. In fact, one of the most familiar and for many people dreaded times of the year is autumn. Autumn, when Big Harry the spider decides to interrupt your televisual viewing as he dances along the fireplace or the carpet. I've had one house spider in the house this year, just the one that was making a dash up the wall. Not seen any anywhere else. I had one on the outside of the wall, one huge male. Thankfully, it was on the outside. But even garden spiders, there are very few garden spiders. I'm seeing the odd adult female garden spider, and they should continue for a bit longer yet. But normally, well, it's like this, there should be plenty of spiders. Autumn is peak spider season, but here and other sites I've seen locally, there are very few spiders, and many people will be happy at that. I've got quite a lot in my shed, but one spider that has done well this year is Pholcus phalangoides, the daddy long-leg spider, sometimes called cellar spider, and all sorts of different local names. And that seems to have done really well. I've had more in the house this year than what I've ever had before, and the shed is positively full of them. That's a species that has done really well. All the others, not so. Nigma walcanarii has done quite well, but in terms of species that you'd be expecting to see now, they've had a poor year.